Hey, everybody, this is a second video on learning Ballerina. So I decided to go through the next version or next section of Ballerina Basics. So as we learn Ballerina together, and that's going to be going through these. So let's go through modules first. So Ballerina program files have a .bal extension, and the file names do not have semantics. These source files can be grouped into modules. The code within a module can refer to any module level symbol declared in the same module. Module names can only contain. Okay. As console. That's kind of cool. Okay, so let's play that. So again, here we're just importing main libraries. Like you can create different modules. Oh, but basically the thing to take away from here is that you could actually rename the modules. Okay, so here IO gets renamed as console. So instead of doing IO print line, you do console print line. So you can do that. And apparently there's also a math library. So we can see here we're bringing in the value of pi from the math library. So we're saying, hey, there's the math library, and in it there's a variable called pi, and we're going to use it. So now if we run this function, so nothing too much syntactically we have to learn from here, because we've kind of saw already how to import stuff. But again, things you can learn from here is you can rename your imports. That's that. And hey, now we know there's a math library. Okay, and we know there's a pi value in that math library. Okay, and there's pi. Okay, so that is pretty straightforward. Let me see, does it say anything more about how to create a module? Towards a module can only refer to public symbols of an imported module. I get that. Declare an explicit alias. Use the explicit alias console to invoke a function defined as Ballerina IO module. Okay, so yeah, what I said is pretty much what was to take away from this. So let's go on to variables. Let's bring in this code. Okay, so let's take a look at this code. We're importing the IO library. We're creating an integer variable, the total of 99. Again, this syntax is pretty standard to other languages where you put the type of the variable, the name of the variable, and then a value. Assign it a value of that type. Okay, this is a constant. Okay, so we declare constants with the const keyword, so that's new information. So this is a constant string called OK. Okay. Okay, there are sirens in my neighborhood because that's typical living in Brooklyn. Public constant, so this is a public, and this is important. Only public things get exported if I were to bring this module into a separate library. Like actually, let me create a. Let's just make this a new. I'll make a new folder. Ballerina. And I'm going to create, where did I put that there? I don't want to put that there. I'll put this over here. I want to put it top level. There we go, Ballerina. I want to create a little practice folder, because I want to try something out. Okay. And let's see here. Const, okay. So again, we're creating just some variables. So this is a public variable. Final. Int status equals 1. I don't think I know. I've seen this in other languages, but I'm trying to remember exactly what the final keyword usually does, but it's not coming to me at the moment. We'll come back to that. But it's just an integer that equals 1. So here we have the main program. We're printing out the total. Now where's total defined? Over here, that was 99. Then we're printing out count, which is 1. Here we're declaring a Boolean. False. Okay, so this is all pretty straightforward. And then here we're printing a variable. So the point is you can print out variables. Okay, so this is pretty standard to how variables work in any language. You assign them, but they got to be typed. You can assign public as a property outside of like a class, which is that is different than other languages. But I guess the context is it's assumed that this is all being wrapped in a class. Like in Java, you do that explicitly. Here it's kind of happening implicitly, and which is cool. So let's see here. Declare a module level variable. Yep. Let's see here. Declare a public constant. We did that. Declare a final variable. The value of the final variable is read only. Once a value is assigned to a final variable, it becomes immutable. Function call are implicitly final. Okay. All parameters of a function call are implicitly final. Got it. So you can't, they're immutable variables. Okay, access a global variable, access a public variable. Yeah, we never actually accessed the status. And this is a local variable, so we create one right there. Okay, so the scope is only there because global would have to be declared outside of the main function for it to have completely global access. Well, this only has scope within this main function. Okay, that's pretty standard in most languages. So this is all pretty standard stuff. Okay, so I'm going to move on from that. Am I doing on time? We're in 5 minutes. Okay, let's go to var. Ballerina allows you to declare variables using the var keyword instead of specifying a type. The type declared variable is inferred. Okay, so this allows you to use implicit implicit typing. So that means instead of me, so what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to just copy this import. I'm going to go into this practice folder and create a new file. And I'm going to say stuff.val. Okay, because I want to test out importing it from another file, so I'm going to just create a variable here called public integer test equals 1. And then again, did I need to put semicolons everywhere? Yeah, I do. Okay. So there's that. And let me just go back here again. This is int, right? Yeah. Public int. Oh, but does it have to be a constant? I think it does. Public. So let's try that out. See if it stops giving me an error if I make it constant. I think this needs to be that. Let me just try this. Yep, no, it wants me to put the const there. Okay. So let's just save that. And then I want to create another file. Test.val. I just want to see if I can import that. So let's import the IO library. Let's import stuff. Let's see if it just lets me bring in stuff. I don't know if that's exactly the way I would want to express that. Stuff. Let's see if I do it this way. /stuff.val. Let me do that. Since it's in the same folder, it might be considered part of the same package. So let's try that. Okay, why is that complaining? Oh, because I just didn't use it yet. Okay, and the main function, that has to be like public main, right? Let's see here, let's just keep referring to public function main. Yep, okay. Public function main. So what I want to find out is if I have access to the public things in other files in the same folder, kind of as a module. So let's try this. IO print line, and then let's try printing out test. Okay. And let's see if that, and that's the name what I called it before here, right? Yeah, test. So let's see if that works. I need to go inside this folder. So let me open up the terminal in that folder. Ballerina run test.val. Let's see if that compiles correctly. Invalid token. Line 5.1. Oh, I have to put a semicolon here. Oh, semicolons. Okay, let's run that. Okay. Let's see if I just do this. Import stuff. And then do stuff test. I do that? Okay, well that's a failed experiment. I'm sure we'll figure out how to do that later on. But I just wanted to try it out. Test that val. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Let me go back over here. Copy the var code. Okay, so basically what happens here is I use the var keyword, meaning variable. I'm creating a variable named k. Instead of having me to do like int k, it just realizes it's an integer based on the value I assign. So this way I don't have to think about, okay, what is the prefix for that particular, or what's the type for that particular variable, as long as I'm doing an immediate assignment. Now, if I'm not doing an immediate assignment, that's probably going to throw me an error, because usually when you have implicit typing, you need to make sure that there's an assignment to type. So if I do that, I should have an error. Okay. Let's try this. K equals 5. Would that still work? I don't think so. I think you need to type it right away. Yep. It wants you to make sure you assign it at the minute you declare that variable. So if I do 5 again, that'll work. Okay, so see, it works. 15. Hello. Now I could have also just done this as like this: int k, and then I don't think it needs to be assigned right away. But then it has no value. So when I do this, see, k is not initialized. So then on the next line I could do k equals 5. And then this code works again. So again, if you do var, you have to assign it right away. It's kind of like if you've done Go and there's that sort of special operator for implied assignment when you do like the little colon equal sign. Same idea. So var is used for implied typing. Okay, so that's cool. Let's do one more and then call it a day. Functions. Okay. So functions, that's pretty straightforward. So let's copy the code and walk through it. Okay, so again, we're importing the IO library, so we have the input function. But yeah, you just use the function keywords. So it's function, name the function, parameters, and then the actions of the function. That's pretty typical of most programming languages. And here's where you would type the return value. So if you wanted to type the return value, you would do it after the parentheses. Okay, not like at the beginning like you would in C++ or Java. So this returns an integer, returns a string. Trying to see if I see anything else that's interesting. Okay. I guess that's how you do concatenation. So you have a concat function. So you see it's chaining off the string to do a concatenation of s. And where did we get s from? S is a string that's being passed in. Cool. Okay, so we're going to print value. This is a simple text. Let's take a look at the print value function. It just prints the thing. Int result, add 5 and 6. Because it's going to return an integer. So that's why it's set up that way. And print and return value world. T is going to be hello world. Okay, I got that. So yeah, it's pretty much like any other language at this point. Okay, main things to take away is that concatenation is not using the plus keyword. Concatenation is using this concatenation function. That means you're combining strings. So it's a concat function, and you pass in the string you want to join together in there. What things am I noticing? And again, just that you put in your return type here, and you have to use the keyword returns instead of just putting in the type. Okay, which seems extra. I mean, in languages like Kotlin and Swift, you just put, I'm pretty sure you just put the type here, and then that's good enough, because I mean, there's nothing else you're going to put there. Cool. And I think same thing in Go. Anything else I want to point in here? No, that's pretty good. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. So far this language is not complicated. Okay, not a huge departure from how other programming languages are structured at their basic level. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.